best English that you could ever learn. I will be your host, I will be your guide, and we will learn the best language possible. Are you struggling to learn the best English out there? Do you need to master English for school, for work, to travel, to connect with people? Then stay here because we are going to have a great session. We will talk, we will share, you will be able to participate in the process. It's going to be a conversation. And this is the best way to learn because as human beings, we are hardwired to learn socially, right? We learn with other people. And sometimes we forget the power of the human, especially right now with AI. I think, oh, everything, that's the power of the computer, the power of the software. And that's great. I love computers. I love software. I love technology. But there is also the power of the person, the power of the mind, the power of the human. And this is what we are going to tap into. So let's say hello to everyone on Instagram. Mathieu is here. Welcome. Shukri, Ira, Mari, Zmerhal. Welcome to all our friends who are here. Kamen is here on Vimeo. Lil. Nice, nice. And we've got some people on YouTube and some people on Facebook. So wherever you are, welcome. All right. So right now it's back to school. So I have a program that I'd like to tell you about. It is how to master fluency, how to become fluent in English by the end of the year, between now and the end of 2025. Right? It's a whole process. We need individualized classes tailor-made for you to get you the best results. We need also a daily learning routine, and I can help you build one. These live streams and live classes like this so you can automate the thinking process, right? And of course, the speaking club, right? Because your brain is one of the most wonderful things, right? Instruments in the entire universe. But do you know how to optimize your brain for language learning? Do you know how to use your brain to its maximum capability? Well, I can help you with that. I can help you. I've studied this. I've studied linguistics. I've studied pedagogy. I've studied teaching. I've studied technology. And the way you transfer the language is, is pretty much this right here. So here is where you get the input, and then the speaking groups are where you get the output, right? So if you are interested in this, definitely reach out to me. Join the WhatsApp community. There you'll have direct access. You get exclusive content that's not available on social media. You get weekly challenges. You get a community where you can talk to other people. We have a speaking club where you can practice your speaking. Zoom lessons, it is amazing. Join that right now. So today's lesson is back to school, back to work, right? It is that season, right? It's the season, it's the end of summer, and now we got to get back to business. So this expression, back to, means a return. Back to school, if you're a kid, right, it's back to school. In Europe, kids are starting school next week, I believe. In America, kids have already started, right? So, have you gone back to school or to work? Let me ask you this question. If you are part of the community, you can answer the poll, right? Um, have you gone back to school or work after the summer holidays? Right. So answer here the poll. Maria's here. Welcome, Maria. Irena, welcome. All these nice people in the chat. To Barslan, welcome. I'm doing well, Maria. Thank you for asking. Paco is here. Welcome to all our friends who are joining us. So that's it, guys. That's it. We are back to school. We are back to business. So let's do that. So here you have the QR code if you want to join the community. Use your phone. You can scan it and you can join the Learning Languages with David community. So many professionals sign up or sign in for evening classes to boost their careers. Which one is it? A or B, guys? Choose wisely. All right, so here. So everyone is back to school. Okay, so cool. Right. So we have evening classes, right? If you're a professional, you work during the day. Right. If you're retired, like Lil, you're always on holiday. If that's you, congratulations. You've made it. You've made it to the promised land, right? You got your pension. You're good to go, right? You can enjoy life every single day. You can wake up whenever you want to wake up. You can have a long breakfast if that is what you so wish. You can take a nap in the middle of the day. You can go for a walk. You can do whatever you please. If that's you, congratulations. That's not me. But one day that will be me, right? So very nice, everyone. Very nice. All right, guys. All righty. So a lot of people sign up. So to sign up, so of course to sign, signature means to write your name. So you sign, but if you sign up, means you say, hey, I want to be put on the list. I want to do this. I want to join the evening classes, right? And a lot of people, in the summer, you go to the beach, you spend time with your friends, you enjoy the weather. But that's over, guys. I'm sorry to say it. I wish summer could go on forever, but that's not the case. Right? So a lot of people, a lot of professionals sign up for evening classes to boost. Boost means improve, to boost their skills. Right. In this case, we have English language skills, but a lot of people, a lot of Americans are learning Spanish because Spanish is a major force, in the Americas, right? All over the world, really, but especially in the Americas, North and South America. Of course, Central and South America, Latin America, it's the dominant language. But did you know that in the United States, there are 33 million native speakers, native Spanish speakers in the United States of America? 33 million. That's a lot. That's more than many Spanish speaking countries. So, English, actually, the United States is probably, I don't know all the populations of every single Spanish speaking country, but I can tell you that Mexico is the number one Spanish speaking country in the world with about 120 million. I think Spain is number two, probably about like 40 million. I'm not too sure. Tell me. So, Maria, you're from Spain. How many people? What's the population of Spain? No, then probably maybe Colombia, right? But the United States, right, is has 33 million Spanish speakers, right? Maybe even Colombia. Colombia has, 53 million. So, right, maybe Colombia is the second biggest Spanish speaking country in the world, right? And so a lot of people want to learn Spanish. People want to learn French. I got them covered. If you're learning English, Spanish, or French, sign up for the classes. Right. Sign up. 50 million people in Spain. Nice, nice, nice. So I've gone back to studying because I want to stay competitive or competing. Right. So here, this expression, right? This is a great expression. Right? You want to stay competitive or stay competing. Why is this? Well, the world there's a lot of competition in the world, especially now with AI, right? It's not easy to make it. And so people, professionals, need to work extra hard to stay relevant, as in to be able to outdo other people. Because remember, I mean, I talk to companies and I talk to CEOs all day, and they're all telling me, you know what? Soon, very soon, we'll be able to get rid of half of the workforce. So a lot of companies are getting ready for mass layoffs. Now, it's very sad. I don't want it to happen. It's extremely sad. But a lot of companies are going to be laying people off. So we need to stay competing or we need to stay competitive. The correct answer, guys, is competitive. We got to stay competitive, right? We got to stay competitive. This world is not easy. Now, let me ask you a question. All right, let me ask you a question. You know, is it easy to stay competitive in today's world? Yes or no? Some people say it's easy, right? Just go to school. Just get your degree and then you'll be set. Right? Just go to school, listen to the teacher, right? Take notes, pass the exam, and then you're set. You'll be very successful and you'll make it. No matter what, satisfaction guaranteed. Is that true or not? You tell me in the chat because you are the expert. Vanessa Barreto says it's hard. Vanessa Barreto is absolutely right. She's absolutely correct in that assessment. Why do I say that? I say that because it's true. Lil says it's not easy. It's challenging. It is challenging. All right, and so we're going to talk a lot about that. A lot of my classes are about staying relevant, staying competitive, by understanding the reality that we live in. Most of the skills, the technical skills that you learn, AI can do it probably, or AI will be able to do it. But your communication skills, your soft skills, your relationships, your meta skills, if you want to call them that cannot and will not be replaced by AI, because you'll have friends, you'll have people that you know, you'll inspire people with your words, you'll be able to talk to them and get some ideas out of them. You'll make some friends, and the friends will be able to help you. And they'll say, "Hey, I'm gonna I'm gonna help you out. I want to do business with you." Right? So Maria here says, para ser competitivo, tienes que estar bien formado y mantener la atención, y no todo el mundo puede soportar la presión. Cierto. That's correct. If you don't speak Spanish, let me translate. It says, in order to be competitive, or to be competitive, you have to be well formed, or you have to be to have a good foundation, right? You need to have a good training. All right, you have to be relevant in terms of your skills, and need to be able to maintain tension, or keep the tension, right? And keep be able to handle the stress. That's important, especially in the higher levels, right? Build those connections, right? And it's all language based. It's not about like, oh, you learn how to do something online, or you learn accounting, or you learn programming, or you learn, you know, some technical skill. That's gone. People skills are the new super skill. And how do you build those skills? Well, you just got to use them. You just got to use them. You got to stay competitive, right? How do you stay competitive? You got to keep your finger on the pulse. You need to be studying all the time. You need to be a lover of studies. So she's been taking up on her English. She's been brushing up on her English. She's been making up on her English before moving abroad. Right? So this girl right here, this girl, she wants to move to England. It's her dream. It's her dream. And she wants to move there. Now, she doesn't want to go to London. She wants to go to the countryside, to Oxford, Cambridge, the old England, the real England, right? The real England, where you can find real British people, real British culture. Tea. I love tea, right? Where you can talk to people about intellectual subjects, right? And that's it. That is it. All right. So she wants to move abroad, but before moving abroad, she needs to take up on her English, brush up on her English, make up on her English. So she's been brushing up on her English before moving abroad. Well, let's break this one down, guys. Let's break this one down. So, what does brush up mean? So, we know what brush, like a hairbrush. You can tell I don't own a hairbrush, if you can tell. But a lot of people do. But to brush up, kind of like where you have a paintbrush, you brush up, means you improve. You improve, you touch up. You can also say touch up. You brush up on your skills, right? You already have the skills. She already knows English. This girl that I showed you, she already knows English. Right? She joined my course. She took lessons. She was, very diligent. She came to class every single week. So she's ready to go. She's ready to go. She's ready to make her dream come true and move to England, right? But all summer, she's been brushing up on her skills. She's been, you know, learning, revisiting, reviewing. She has been reviewing everything that we learned, right? As well as weekly classes, right? So just brushing up on her skills before moving to the United Kingdom. Now, we often put away, we often put through, we often put off learning new skills until we realize how useful they are, right? This is a very common thing, right? So here it's put and then the correct preposition. Put away, put through, put off. What does it mean? We delay. We delay. All right. We say, "Oh, I don't need to master English, business English. I don't need to mm, work on my social skills or on my soft skills. I don't need to do that, right? I don't need to. That's not important." But then the moment comes. The moment of truth comes when you realize how useful these skills are. But once you realize how useful they are, many times it's too late. So let me tell you more about this. Right? So I have a student, very good student, and he's been coming to class regularly, right? Regularly. And a couple of weeks ago, he had this meeting with top level executives from a different company. And he was representing his company there. And he got a multi-million dollar contract. Multi-millions. One contract, one deal. And he told me, this deal is thanks to you. This deal is, I meet, of course, he has skills. He has great skills. He's a great guy, very smart, very competitive. But I gave him the tools, right? And he studied for like a year before that. And it all came to one meeting where he had to use the skills. So sometimes you learn these skills and you don't use them. So you improve your speaking skills, you improve your social skills, you improve your English skills, your Spanish skills, your French skills, whatever skill you're working on, and nothing happens. Right? You keep going to work, it's the same thing. You don't use what you're learning, but one day your boss will tell you, "Hey, I want you to go meet those clients. I want you to give this presentation. I want you to travel to the company headquarters." And then that's the moment where all your learning, all of your hard work will pay off. So that's why we learn for those moments. Right? We learn so hard, we prepare for those moments that can make or break you. And that is key. That's key. Right? It's and you can use it for any situation, right? All right. So Lil says sometimes you keep your skills, probably not conserve, you keep your skills for several years. Yeah, it's true. Right? Whatever skill you acquire, it's yours. Nobody can take it away from you. And that's what's so powerful about skills, investing in your skills. Now, I can buy a Ferrari, but maybe one day I won't be able to afford it anymore. Maybe somebody will steal it from me, or maybe it'll just get old, or maybe the upkeep will be too expensive for me. Right? So that's a physical thing. Right? If I invest in my skills, then they'll be part of who I am forever and ever. Right? Right. Maria says, the world keeps going round and round, right? It keeps changing. And if you don't stay relevant, if you don't stay up to date, you get left behind. That is absolutely right. All right, let's see. Let's see who's here on Instagram. Paola, Mohsen, Tanya is here. Right, so very nice. So after a long break, right, the summer break, it can be tough. Tough means difficult. It can be tough to go back into study mode, get back into study mode, or move back into study mode. Which phrasal verb works best? So it's a long break, guys. I get it, right? I get it. It's a long break. And this is why I don't take breaks. I was working all summer long. I was live streaming, sometimes a little bit less, right? 1 or 2 live streams a week. A few lessons here and there. I don't like taking breaks. Short breaks, yeah. One day, yeah. 1, 2 days, maybe. I like working. I like being productive. It keeps me alive, right? And then it takes me a while to get back into study mode, right? So after the summer, everyone, you know, you're in like a different mode. You're in like summer mode, which is wake up at 9 or 10, go to the beach, take a nap, go swimming, have lunch, take another nap, read your book, scroll, go to the pool, go back to the beach, have dinner, party, sleep. That's most people's summer schedule, which is awesome. However, that's not that's that's not the for some people it is normal life. It is their day to day. However, for most people, that's not realistic. That's not how that's doesn't represent your normal schedule. Most people need to work, they need to study, they need to get things done. And so what happens is that people take some time off, and then it's hard to back into get back into a routine. This is why I don't take time off, because I don't want to lose the momentum. So, but I get it. I get it. It is hard. It is hard. All righty, guys. Very nice. So let's continue here. Let's continue. So he he has gone through, or he went through the course material carefully before the workshop. So here, my my lessons, my fluency sessions are set up like a workshop, right? Where we apply specific content, specific grammar, specific language, and mm, most of the time, some people just show up. They don't prepare, they just show up to class. But I always recommend preparing, right? Or going through the material before class. It's very simple because you want to prepare, right? If you show up to class with nothing, with no prior knowledge, it can be hard, right? What the idea is to prepare the brain, prepare the mind, you know, to learn, so that when you're in class, everything moves very quickly in class. You hear words, you hear expressions, you're prepared. So people that he has gone through or he went through, well, they're both. The correct one is he went through, right? Because it's last night, right? Last night he went through the course material. But if you put he has gone through, that's okay. That's okay, right? Because it is the present perfect, meaning there's the time is not important. And he has gone through the material, you know, in the last few days, right? And so what I recommend, just like, these study skills, it's so amazing. Well, it's no, it's not amazing. Well, amazing in a negative way. It's so terrible that most schools don't teach students how to study. They just say, "Hey, learn this, learn that," and then, but how to study is almost as important as what to study. Mm. Having this know-how, right? Knowing the process is like crucial. Why do I say this? Because I understand the mind, right? I know I'm a teacher. I've been a teacher for 16 years. I love it, right? And I love to understand, or to try to understand, how the brain works, how the brain learns. Like, did you know that most people forget 90% of what they learn in class? 90%. Why is it? Because they never learned how to make their brain retain the knowledge. They never learned it. Nobody told them how you can change your brain, how you can learn something and never forget it. Right? Well, some people learn how to study at university, comment, but not everyone. They tell you, hey, read this. Here, the exam is next week. Now, if you're learning how to study at university, it's too late. Right? It's too late. You learn how to study when you're 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. When you're 18, it's too late. Your brain, you can still learn, of course, but there's less brain plasticity. Right? That should be the first thing kids learn, is how to study. And I'm going to tell you, how do you study? It's in 3 stages: before, during, and after. So you preview the materials. You don't show up to class without previewing the material. Right? Teachers tell you, read this before class. Do students do it? A lot of them don't. Right? There needs to, but you read, you watch some videos, you prepare for class. Then in class you participate, and then after class you review and you process. And there needs to be a creative process. Answering questions is not a creative process. Reading is not a creative process. So I said, hey, I took the quiz. That's not creative. Right? You're not producing the ideas. You're just choosing A, B, C, or D. And what is creative? Well, you write, you you talk about it. You synthesize what you learn. You use the new knowledge and you combine it with knowledge that you previously had, and you synthesize, you create new knowledge, new combinations, right? You take the new element and you put it with prior knowledge, and then you come up with a new way to present it, new way to see it, new way to understand it. And that is called synthesizing. And that's how the knowledge stays in your brain. Why? Because it's part of who you are. You created it. If you create something, then it it is recorded in your mind. Right? If you choose A, B, C, or D, it's not personal. It's not personal. You didn't create it. It's not you didn't form the connections. Mm, you didn't make it personal. And so the key is to make knowledge personal, right? And that is what we do. This is what we do. We apply the knowledge. Correct, Irena? Right? Um, right. You know how to, you need to know the process of learning. And you need to love learning. Now, I don't even know why people don't love learning. Learning is the best thing in the whole wide world. It's like an addiction. There's nothing better than learning. But people are like, no, I don't like to learn. I don't like to learn. Learning is stressful. Learning is boring. Learning, you know, learning is, I prefer to watch Netflix, right? And everyone loves, everyone can choose what they love. Let's put it that way. But I'm telling you, once you understand the power of learning, there is nothing better in the whole entire universe. All right, so I've just taken up Spanish to communicate better with clients. All right, so what form is here? All right, so here we got a student, he's learning Spanish. And so here it says I have just, or I've just taken up Spanish to communicate better with clients. So what does this mean? To take up? Well, to take up is to start doing something. Right? You start doing something is hi Primal. How is Mr. Primal doing? Hi Ivy Lane. Good. Good. All righty. So this guy, check out this guy right here. He's got some clients. Like I told you, he lives in America. And Spanish is is a force to be reckoned with in America. 33 million Spanish speakers in America. And your business, all right, where especially if you live in California or Texas, Florida, Arizona, Spanish is very prevalent there. You'll meet a lot of people who speak Spanish. And so your business will, you'll do much better in business if you learn Spanish. So he understood that. So he said, I've just taken up Spanish to communicate better with clients. Right? So even if, so people tell me, well, it takes a long time to learn a language. So how can I, why? Why learn Spanish, first of all, if it's going to take me so long, right? Well, the thing is, sometimes you just need to break the ice. Sometimes you just need a few key words to connect with the other person. So sometimes it's not about learning the perfect Castilian Spanish, the Spanish from the Real Academia Española, right? That takes years to learn. The Royal Spanish from the Academy, top level C2, takes years. Some people will never make it. But it's not about that. It's about learning enough to be able to break the ice, to connect with people. Right? If you deal with Spanish speaking people or French speaking people, learn a few key words and use them. Use them when you speak to them. You will form a connection because you will tell them, "Hey, I'm reaching over the aisle. I made an effort to speak your language," and the rapport will be much stronger. So sometimes it's not about, especially if you're an English speaker, sometimes since English is the dominant language in the world, you don't need, if you're an English speaker, you don't need to learn another language. I mean, let's just be honest, right? You don't need, if you're from England, if you're from America, if you're from, you can pretty much get by anywhere in the world without the native language. Of course, it'll always help. It's always nice. It's always nice to, and there's a few pockets here and there where you don't need the language, but does it make a difference to learn a language? It most certainly does make a difference. If you go to South America, like if you go to major cities, you'll find people who speak English. Right? It's not, you're not going to, it's not the, the unless you go to the middle of the Amazon, you're going to find people who speak English. Major cities, major towns, you'll find someone who speaks English. But would it make a difference if you learn a few words of Spanish? Well, yes, doors will open. If you speak Spanish and you go to South America or Latin America, doors will open that wouldn't otherwise open, if you don't speak the language. So this is key, guys. This is key. Alrighty. Let's keep moving. So they look forward to network or networking with new people in their class. This is another point, right? Classes are all about networking, right? So here, you say they look forward to network, they look forward to networking. I look forward to see you. I look forward to seeing you. You look forward to speaking to your boss? You look forward to speak to your boss. Is it the base form or is it the ing form? Right, so a lot of people tell me that this is the number one benefit of joining the speaking group. It's networking. It is connecting with others. It is, sharing information, right? It's not what you know, it's who you know. I repeat, it's not what you know, it's who you know. That's the key. That's the key to life. So people, they join these groups, they join organizations, they join clubs, classes, right, societies to network with people. So they look forward to networking with their new classmates, right? That's the key, guys. That's the key. So tell me, right, how often do you attend networking events? How often do you attend networking events? All right, let me give you a few options. You know, at least once a week, you know, at least once a month, right? Well, let's see. Let's put it more or less once a week, once a month, or once a year. Let's see. All right. So, how often do you attend networking events? This is a place, an event, where the goal is to meet others, to meet other people. How often? Hmm, some people attend networking events every day. Now, I think every day is a little excessive, but you know, once a week, some people say once a month, some people say never, right? And this is another great skill. Remember, AI will not destroy relationships. AI will not destroy friendships. Some people, yes, some people will fall in love with their AI character. I'm not saying, that's not possible. It is possible. It's sad, but it is possible. But I'm going to tell you one thing. We will still, at least in the foreseeable future, we will still have friends, or most of us will still have friends. Most of us will still enjoy a nice conversation with someone. We'll enjoy talking about our lives, sharing our experiences, sharing our opinions. I think that that's not going away anytime soon. Anytime soon, in the next 100 years, that's not going to change. So, what does that tell you? It tells you that your number one asset is your yourself, as in who you are. All right, being a friend, being supportive of others, connecting with others is your number one goal. We all need motivation to stick with a course until the end. You need motivation. People tell me I struggle with motivation. And it is normal. It's normal. With all this online brain rot, that's the key word. The key word is brain rot. With all this online brain rot, it's hard to stay motivated. Right? It's so hard to stay motivated. Everyone's negative, right? There's all this junk everywhere you look. There's junk, right? And so people are scared. Big things are happening in the world, and sometimes we lose our motivation, right? But we need to stick with it, right? People are people are changing quickly. It's true, Lil, right? People are not as friendly as they used to be. Right? People are becoming a little bit more antisocial. That's happened in the last few years. Right? Say, hey, why do I need to go out and meet people? I can just watch Netflix and get Uber Eats. Why do I need to make friends? Why? I've got an iPhone. That's my that can be my friend. Right? Or just people, it's people have become more antisocial, a little bit more closed off in the last few years. It's that is not wrong what you said, Lil. That is definitely not wrong. So we are in this predicament right now. What to do? What to do? Right. Follow the masses, do what everybody else is doing, stay in bed all day, or open up, meet people, right? The speaking club really helped her, or really helped me. That's what she said. The speaking club really helped me get over my fear of making mistakes. A lot of people are scared. A lot of people are scared of making mistakes. How do you get over this fear? How do conquer this fear? Well, you just need to face it. There's no abracadabra, there's no magic trick. The way to face your fear, or the way to overcome your fear, is to face it. That's it. That's it. If you're scared of public speaking, you need to, get into public speaking. If you're afraid to talk to someone, you need to talk to them. If you're afraid of anything, you need to face it. You need to face your fear. Right now, luckily, right now we have this technology where we can connect with people all around the world, and we can have conversations. We can work on our skills in the comfort of our own home. So I don't have to, get dressed up and go somewhere and spend time parking and sitting in traffic. I can connect with others right here in my studio, in this beautiful studio right here. I can stay in my studio and connect with thousands of people, and I do it. I do it because I have a lot of social media accounts, and I connect with thousands of people right here, sitting at home. That's amazing, right? We have this tool, and we didn't used to have this tool. Before, you were limited to your geographic area. Yeah, it is a very nice studio, Maria. The energy here is very nice. Very, very nice studio. And we have this technology, this ability, because remember, people in specific areas think the same way. If you live in Spain, right, the people around you watch the same stuff, listen to the same music, think the same way, went to the same schools, speak the same language, right, have the same opinions, you know. more or less. But right now we have this tool, which is the internet, that allows us to step outside of our little bubble, our social bubble. That wasn't possible before. And what's the power of that? The power is that you can expand, literally expand your your understanding of the world by talking to people who are who have a different background, from a different part of the world. That will change your perspective. That will open your mind more than anything else. Why? Because you you talk to people who had a different programming, who had a different upbringing, had different education, had different experiences. That is very enriching. That is very enriching. And we have this online platform. And I talk to people, hundreds of people every week from all around the world, and it's all done online. It's amazing. I don't know why more people aren't jumping at this opportunity. It is so, so cool to meet people from all around the world, to have conversations online, right? If you're serious about progress, you should take part in a speaking group, right? You gotta take part in the speaking group, right? Practice your English conversation success, right? Join the group. Don't wait any longer. Now, if you don't want to join the group, no problem. Join the community. The community, there I post some of the, not all of them, but some of the videos from the groups. So if you can't speak, you can still learn. Right? There's exclusive content. Right? We've got challenges. Right? We have support. Speaking club. You have direct access to me. You can ask a question. Right? You can connect with others. Right? That's the key. We got to learn together. You're not alone. You are part of a community. You're part of a group. And that's the key. Right? So join. Right? It's free to join. And there you get the access. But of course, if you want to level up, if you want to get the best results, you got to join the speaking group. Master fluency with me. It's best for people who already have a foundation. If you already have a foundation, if you already know some English, but you just need to sound a little more fluent, you need to be able to speak, you need to be able to put together everything that you know, this is your opportunity, right? In just a few weeks, in just a few months, you can be comfortable. You will be able to communicate freely. It's amazing, right? So don't wait. Just jump on the opportunity right now. Right. I have some special discounts for the speaking groups, special discount for the back to school, right? They're going to fill up. Once they're full, it's too late, right? So get in before it's too late. Join the fluency program, and you will be able to communicate. You'll be able to express yourself. You'll meet people, right? You'll become confident, and that's the key. Okay, so everyone, take care. Take care, Lil, Irena, Maria, Carmen. Good to see you guys. Thank you, everyone on Instagram. Anfi, JJ Mario. Oh, Ivy Line, Czech pronunciation. Okay, nice. Okay, well, I love the Czech Republic. It's a great place. Great place. All right, guys, take care, and I will see you in the community. All right, guys, take care.